we provide participants with the opportunity to develop and enhance their leadership style and skills, to learn about the issues facing our communities, and to motivate participants to become involved in leadership roles and service for the betterment of Carroll County. You can see by looking around the folks that stood up and knowing some of the other people who've been in Carroll County Leadership Institute that works. We've got folks serving on not just the chamber board, but many other boards, some becoming elected officials, and some at a very high level. So we're very proud of the Carroll County Leadership Institute. We'll talk a little bit more about that in just a moment. 7 years ago, so 8 years ago now, we started looking around for something we could do with those folks and others of phase 2, if you will, a second level of another layer of leadership development. And it was about that time that we started seeing in some of the major metropolitan areas Connect Young Professionals programs and thought, why not? Why not in Carroll? Why can't a town of 10,000, a county of 20,000, why can't we have a nice, robust Connect Young Professionals program? So we got some help from some other towns in Iowa who were very helpful in how they organized and put a little Carroll way about it. Came up 7 years ago with CYP. It's their mission, their three-pronged approach to our three-pronged approach to leadership development in Carroll and Carroll County Connect Young Professionals is the networking opportunities that they have, professional development through some lunch and learns and other. You do. Okay. Let me try it like this. Jeff and Jeff in the back, raise your hand if you can't hear. Okay. I'll do my best. So, is networking, professional development, and civic involvement. You've seen some CYP activities throughout the community, and you'll continue to see that. So now what's next? Well, we're going to go back a little bit to the future in the Chamber of Commerce, and we've asked a group of about a dozen community stakeholders, sponsors at CYP, graduates, community leaders, and presenters and faculty for Carroll County Leadership Institute to help us change and grow and enhance that program. So what they're helping us with now, and you'll learn more details as we go forward, but I wanted to feature this tonight, was a way to provide additional time each session. We have 8 sessions, 8 months. Additional time for these participants to network with each other, some more leadership skill development, and most importantly, some more class discussion time. Class discussion time for, we found, and our participants have told us, that they get the most out of time with each other and discussing the issues and the topics that are at hand for that evening. We're going to work more, as I said, on some skill development and create some groups within each class to lead the discussion, provide additional information on a topic of the month, report back to sponsors, which will be important, and much more. So that's how we identify leaders. That's one of the ways we identify leaders in the community. So we help in that way. We engage leaders in meaningful projects and programs through chamber committee work, as I mentioned, through the myriad of chamber committees and work groups that we have. The committee work is important. You'll hear a little bit more from our president and past president about the Chamber's involvement in what was a huge community project in 2011 in Ragbri. And we were happy to identify some very important leaders in the community to lead us through that. And as it flowed out through the communities, it was a wonderful story of success. And then there are some other ways that maybe aren't quite as well known. The Western Iowa Growth Fund, which is a venture capital equity group, the Chamber and CDC also helped to assemble years ago. We're going to continue to look for opportunities to find these leaders, engage them for the betterment of Carroll and Carroll County. Tonight's Chamber Community Service Awards will recognize just a handful of leaders, Citizen of the Year, Humanitarian, Public Service, and the like. Many more, of course, in this room and still somewhere else tonight are deserving of our appreciation and attention. So I hope you'll give them those as they take these leadership roles throughout the community. Strong leaders make strong communities. Chamber members thrive in strong communities. And leadership development is and will continue to be a top priority for the Chamber. Speaking of leaders, it's my pleasure, my distinct pleasure, to introduce to you the leader of the Chamber for the year 2011, Kim Hackett. Kim, can you come up? said it at this podium and years before, somehow we seem to get the right leader for the right year. And sometimes it's because they're so smart and flexible and willing to adapt to the role of leadership in the chamber. Sometimes it's circumstances that we don't know of, as this person is selected years prior to be on the executive committee and move through the offices. But I can tell you that 2011 was a joyous year of progress and accomplishment at the chamber because of Kimmy and the way she led the board, the way she guided the staff, and we can't appreciate enough the work that you did. Kimmy?
Thank you very much, Jim. Well, welcome everyone tonight, and thank you for attending the Chamber Banquet. At this time, I'd like to recognize outgoing board members and have them come up individually and present them with their plaque. As I call your name, please come forward. Tonight, Jen Mossman is not here. She's with American Home Shield, so obviously she's not coming up. And Jen has served on the board for 3 years. Mark Harmoning, Security, Title, and Investment. He's also a third-year term. Mark? Great job. Thank you. Jody Jansen, New Hope, 3-year term. And Chad Jensen, New Opportunities, also 3-year term. Thank you, Chad. It was great getting to know all of you, and thank you for your dedication to the Chamber. Now I'd like to introduce the Chamber Board. Please hold your applause until everyone is introduced. I ask that you and your spouse stand when called and remain standing until everyone's been introduced. Vice President Aaron Juergens, Juergens Produce and Feed. Secretary Treasurer Jay Mayhall, well, no, let me try that again. Jer Mayhall, Gretaman Associates, and his wife Julie. Gina Bach, Enchanted Gardens. Doug Gifford, State Farm, and his wife Tina. Tammy Goody, presently Inspirations, and soon to be using her talents at Mural Carpet 1. Terry Ruckty, Carroll Cycle Center. Gary Schroeder, St. Anthony Regional Hospital, and his wife Sherry. Mike Suppy, Suppy Chiropractic, and his wife Pat. And Kenny Payer, who again from Champion Ford is not here. He's on vacation like he was last year. And I'm sure he's having a drink on the beach somewhere. Thank you very much.